OCAA Volleyball doubleheader featuring the visiting Georgian Grizzlies and your Durham Lords. We'd like to extend a warm welcome to the U12 DRVC Destroyers, the U16 Durham Tap Warriors, and the Cartwright Coyotes. Thank you for coming out tonight. Hope you guys enjoy. Before we begin today's match, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, Durham College is proud to acknowledge the lands and people of the Mississaugas of Scugog Island First Nation, which is covered under the Williams Treaties. We are situated on the traditional territory of the Mississaugas, a branch of the greater Anishinaabe Nation, which includes Algonquin, Ojibwe, Ottawa, Potawatomi. We now ask if you please rise if able and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Georgian Grizzlies. Number 3, Nevaeh Corsi. Number 7, Brooklyn Smith. Number 8, Emma Fox. Number 9, Patricia Simon. Number 11, Ava Dubois Wood. Number 12, Mackenzie Boyd. In the libero, Casey McLennan. The head coach of the Grizzlies is Danielle Tan.
Alicia Schweck, number 11. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us live from wherever you are. We are here at the Campus Wellness and Recreation Center. On the call this evening is myself, Corrado DeStefano, and joining me is Damon Hufer. Damon, should be an interesting matchup here. A tale of two very different teams this season. Durham coming into this one 8-2. Georgian coming in 2-8.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Georgian has to get a good start or else Durham can take over early. On the serve is Mackenzie Roy to start us off for Georgian.
She serves it. Pedersen will get it up to Young, who goes outside to Chelsea Oak, who puts that one into the net. So early first point there for Georgian.
And a real only way they'll win is getting off to a good start. So that first point is a good play. Mackenzie Roy again on the serve.
Pedersen that one will go directly over the net.
It's saved and hit up over.
This is Young across for Oak, and that one was blocked. Ball still alive, but now it hits the floor. Another point for Georgian.
And it was blocked by Ava Dubois-Wood. So 2 back-to-back good plays for the Georgian Grizzlies to start this game. 2 straight points means Mackenzie Roy is serving again.
Pedersen will dig that one up. That's Young across for Buck, and she hits the floor there, and Durham gets on the board. Jesse Buck and Brooke Young, that connection's been working for the Lords all season. And now serving for Durham is Brooke Young.
McClanahan controls it off the serve. It's a misplay by Roy, and it'll be Durham's point.
Once again, Young will get the serve there as Durham has tied it all up.
Set up and hit by Seja.
Young across for Oak, and the block attempt is no good. The ball stays alive, though.
It's set up, and an attack and a kill for Seda, and it's 3-2 Georgian Grizzlies.
It looked like the Lords there kind of just stopped as it looked like they were going to get the point, but I didn't see who it was for the Grizzlies who was able to kick the ball back up and keep it alive.
Side is up.
Pedersen with a good dig there. Young across for Oak. She'll chip it over the net.
And it's kept alive by Georgian, and just sending it back to the other side, and she gets the point with it. That's Seda again with back-to-back kills. And she'll serve again.
When you're heavily the underdog, it's points like that that'll really go a long way. Just those gritty ones that you really just got to work for. Good serve there. This is Young. Near side for Oak.
Kept alive. And hit by Smith. It'll be point Durham as there's an error for Smith as she touched the netting with her right arm.
Coming up to serve now is Chelsea Oak.
Roy, and it's hit and a kill for Emma Knott.
Obviously, it's very early, but you wouldn't expect Durham to come into this game too complacent, looking at the records on either side.
Smith can't get it over, and it's a service error and point to Durham. And they do look flat, Durham, to start off the game.
Jesse Buck now going to serve for the Lords. And it's going to be an ace for Buck as the Lords now tie it up again.
McClanahan just couldn't control the serve.
Another good serve there.
Roy hits it up, and it's a block.
It'll be a block for Catherine Conkle of the Lords. Their first successful block of the match.
As she blocks Dubois Wood, the first-year student.
One thing the Lords have this year is a very tall team. Many of their players are well above 5'7", 5'8", even a couple players over 6 feet tall. Obviously goes a long way. Good attempt there, and that'll be a kill for Elizabeth McFarland. As the Lords now look to go on some sort of a run here. They are on a 3-0 run.
They've taken over a little bit. And this is where Georgian need a big play.
And an ace there, another one for Buck. Great serve as the Georgian players thought for sure it was out, but just catches that block. And another ace for Buck.
We're up to 3 now on this one turn.
It's now a 5-0 run for the Lords. And it'll be another one, as the Grizzlies just can't seem to control Buck's serves right now.
Yeah, and they really need Casey McClanahan to get on the end of one of these. She's got close a couple times, but couldn't control either of them.
Another ace. And Jessie Buck, not known to have the greatest serve on the team, but that just goes to show what happens if you get it over the net. A lot of times you focus on putting so much power on it that it just goes right into the net.
And now finally controlled and just pushed over by Roy.
It's going to be McFarland with the point there as the Lords don't appear to be letting up here at all. We're going to get a timeout call here from the Grizzlies.
And that after 9 straight points for Durham, it was a needed timeout. But this is exactly what they didn't want, to start off slow.
Yeah, Lords coming into this game with a 3-0 victory over George Brown in George Brown on Wednesday. Meanwhile, on the other side, Georgian coming in with a 3-0 loss to Seneca on Wednesday. They were at home for that one. For both teams, this will be their final match of the season for the calendar year of 2024. And then obviously you get that about 5 to 6 week break, which I'm sure for all these varsity student athletes is a good break, not just from the sport, but obviously from school.
Yeah, it's needed for some people, especially for this Georgian team. They are struggling, and if they can clear their mind and have a good end of the season, they can still do good things.
Jessie Buck gets set to serve again for the Lords.
Roy, it's a cross, and Dubois Wood with the kill, and they finally get some points on the board after a 9-0 Durham run.
Proves to be a good timeout call, at least for the moment, for the Grizzlies.
And after the kill, Dubois Wood will be serving. There's a ball on the court, so we had to wait. Now Dubois Wood will serve.
Oak gets that one for Young. There for Conkle, and a perfectly executed play from the Lords. to get them the ball back. Now setting up the serve will be Elizabeth McFarland. First-year Curtis native who's been a very, very good addition for the Lords this year.
Hit up, and an attempt was not amazing by Knott.
Pedersen with the tip there. And once again, the Lords put points up on the board as they now lead 14-6.
That's what we talked about. They're running away with it early on, and it's not a good sign for the Georgian Grizzlies.
Farland again with the serve.
Roy setting it up. And a good hit. And a kill.
Good effort there from Oak and Lush from the Lords, but proves to be uneventful as the Grizzlies do get the ball back on the serve.
The kill comes from Nevaeh Garcia, and now the serve will come from Emma Knott. Gets it over.
Patterson for Young, now back for Patterson. Another connection that not just this year, but in previous years has worked out exponentially well for the Lords. Now Patterson will get set to serve. 15 serving 7, the Lords lead here in the first set. Good serve, gets the Lords the ball back. Young with the tip.
McClanahan, Roy, and now it's hit over by Seja.
Lush for Young, and Patterson will just get it over, but good play by the Lords to keep the ball alive.
Roy got it, and it was a hit by Knott.
Patterson to Young, across for McConcool. And a good kill there as the Lords just keep on humming.
Dubois Wood could not control that.
It was a
powerful hit.
Perfectly placed shot there. Another good serve by Pedersen, and that one will be an ace. Again, just get the ball over the net and good things will happen. Not necessarily a perfectly struck shot or really fast, just in a really good area.
Roy setting it up, and Garcia hitting. Now it's tipped over by Knott.
And Lush will just have to put that one over the net. It was a third touch.
Roy again. Seda.
Oak for Young, back for Oak. That one's blocked.
It's a good block by Nevaeh Garcia, and she's got 2 points for her team early on after coming in. And now she will be the one to serve.
Now serving number 3, Nevaeh Garcia.
Garcia can't hit it over on the serve, and it'll be Durham's point, and a 10-point lead now.
Catherine Conkle now serving for the Lords.
Now serving Catherine Conkle.
18 serving 8. The Lords look to wrap this first set up early. And that serve won't help them achieve that as it's an error.
Now Mackenzie Roy will serve, so we're back
Now serving number 12.
to the first server for the Georgian Grizzlies. Gets it over and gets an ace. Mackenzie Roy.
Patterson and Smith both going for that one. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication, but nonetheless a good serve there. Got the Grizzlies back within 8.
So it'll be Roy again on the serve.
This is Oak for Young, back for Oak. And it's, I believe they're saying it went off the rod. Or no, they're saying it didn't, it wasn't blocked and it went off the net. The Lords got a 4th touch on it, so point Grizzlies.
And now Roy will serve again after 3 straight Georgian points. She has an error, and it gives Durham the ball back in the 19-11 game.
Start of the rotation again for the Lords as it'll be Brooke Young.
Roy trying to keep it alive. They couldn't, and it's an ace.
Good ace there for Young as the 4th-year Alberta native has been the setter here for the Lords for the last few seasons and a very, very key player to their success.
and we'll go again. Number 9, Patricia Seda checks out. Number 7, Brooklyn Smith is in.
Good serve there for Young.
Roy, and now it's Dubois Wood who hits it way over, and it's controlled by the Durham head coach.
Tony Clark out here showing his libero abilities, digging that one out from the ground. Young set the serve again. And that one will be an error. Now the Grizzlies get set to serve here. They're down 9.
Now serving is Kowanowski. They try and get back in this first set.
There's Young for Buck, and a good dig there.
Kept alive by Roy. It was pushed over.
This time it'll be McFarland, but again, Grizzlies able to control.
McClanahan to Seja, and she gets the kill. Serving again is Monika Kowanowski.
That's Pedersen for Young, who just leaves it in the middle for Buck. And that did get over the net, so point Lords.
Almost blocked by Knott. I thought it was blocked by Knott, but in the end it did get over.
The substitution here as Chelsea Oak comes out, and coming in is Kate Quemby. She is now going to get set to serve here for the Lords. 22 serving 13. 3 points from this first set victory.
It's Roy, and a cross and a great hit by Knott. It's a kill, and now it's only an 8-point game.
That one handcuffed Lush and Quemby as they both thought the other would go for it, and it just went right past the both of them.
Now up is Brooklyn Smith.
Quemby gets that one for Young, and misplaying that one was McFarland, as she seemed to have forced to have hit it with her offhand there, as it was an awkward position for her to be in, but nonetheless, point there for the Grizzlies.
In the end, it was Emma Knott who knocked it down.
Smith puts that one up for Young.
That's Brooklyn Smith. Roy across for Knott, and it is a kill.
Block attempt there from the Lords was unsuccessful, as it did hit down on their side of the court.
Again, Brooklyn Smith serving as they creep back into this set, but will it be too late?
Quemby gets on for Young for Pedersen, and it tickles the top of the net and lands on the Georgian side.
That's almost heartbreaking for the Georgian Grizzlies, as they thought they were going to get another point off of a miss hit.
I don't think you ever mean to do that, where it walks the net, but it always looks good.
And it almost always works in your favor if it goes to the other side.
Maybe that's the volleyball gods giving the Grizzlies that point back there, as Buck put that one into the net.
And last time she came up, she had a 9-0 run for Durham. This time, an error really quickly. For Georgian, serving is Ava Dubois-Wood. And on the serve, it is an error. And now Durham is 1 point away from taking set number 1.
Yeah, it is set point. And coming up to serve is Elizabeth McFarland. She will obviously try to wrap this one up here. Does get it over the net.
Not, and now it's Raw.
And it will be an error, and that will do it for the first set. Lords take it 25-17. We will switch, and we're going to take a short break here in between sets. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Georgian.com/live. Don't miss a minute of action across the entire OCAA. Grizzlies, Lords. Lords ahead in the first set. 1:23 to go. Here we go. See you soon.
Hello everyone and welcome back here to the Campus Wellness and Recreation Center where we have the first match of our Georgian and Durham College volleyball doubleheader. Lords took the first set 25-17. We now get set for the second set here as it will be the Lords who serve first. Getting set to do so is Brooke Young.
I'm not seeing any changes for either team, so looks like we'll continue as we picked up.
And there we go, 7-7 game. Now serving for the Lords, number 12, Brooke Young.
Good serve there, and that'll be an ace for Young to start off the second set.
And Patricia Seda just could not handle it.
Now serving Brooke Young.
Roy across to Dubois Wood, and she gets the kill.
Good dig attempt there from McFarland, but not able to scoop it up off the ground, and now Grizzlies will get the chance to serve.
Now serving number 9,
Patricia Seda with the serve.
It's Pedersen for Young for Buck. And that connection once again proves to be successful for the Lords. Coming up to serve is Kate Hemby.
Those three have definitely been the most impactful tonight for Durham and for either team combined.
Good serve there by Quemby.
Roy and Smith hit it over.
Young plays it back for McFarland, but
Roy with the dig. And now the attempt is just pushed over by Knott.
Smith across for Young. Now back again for Pedersen, and she wasn't able to get a tip on it in time as it crossed over the net and was out. So point for the Grizzlies.
And now it'll be Brooklyn Smith
now serving Brooklyn Smith.
who's going to be serving to try and take the lead for Georgian early on in the second set.
That's Young for McFarland.
Dig by Smith. Roy. Now it's not. Not again.
Really good dig
Roy's
there from Quemby.
Switching at Dubois Wood. And Dubois Wood with the kill as it eventually hit the deck.
It's unfortunate there from the Lords because Smith, with a great effort, almost having to leap over the barrier there, but fell right in between Quemby and McFarland.
Brooklyn Smith with the serve.
And a misplay there from McFarland as she does not get all of it, and it'll stay on the Lord's side.
Brooklyn Smith again on the serve, and it's a good one.
Pedersen puts that up. Young plays it back for Pedersen. She'll just elect to push it over.
Smith, now Roy setting it up. Garcia couldn't keep it alive as it was blocked by Buck.
Jessie Buck now serving for the Lords. So she went on I believe it was 8-0 run in the first set. Obviously, ideally, she'd replicate that, but that doesn't happen all that often.
Now Knott couldn't hit it over as it was a little far back for an attack.
Well, an 8-0 run has to start with a 1-0 run, and she has that. This set is tied up at 4. Similarly to the first set, Lord's a little bit slow out of the gate, but obviously they took charge a bit later on.
Roy across the Dubois Wood.
Buck plays that one up for Young, across for Pedersen.
Digged front by Knott. And now back to her as she will get the kill.
Buck unable to corral that and keep it up on her side as it deflected into the stands.
Emma Knott's kill means Dubois Wood will be serving. And the ball from the stands trickles into the playing area right before her serve. So now Ava Dubois Wood will go again.
She puts that one into the net.
So an error means Durham's point.
As Elizabeth McFarland now getting set to serve for the Lords.
Roy, a big hit, but it's an error for Patricia Saida.
Just outside there. If that was a bit closer inside, the Lords didn't have anyone there to be able to dig that one out.
The right idea, just not the right execution. So it's Roy setting it up, not.
Good keep up there by McFarland. Now Pedersen will just get it over the net.
Roy across the knot again. Her kill is a powerful one, getting the points back. Emma Knott serving. She gets it over.
Just getting that one back over there was Quemby.
McClanahan. Saida.
Quemby with a great dig there. Smith will play it back towards the middle. Young will just get it over the net.
McClanahan. And it was Saida again who hit it over.
Another great dig by Quemby, but unfortunately it's an error there from the Lords.
And a good rally. Emma Cott to serve. And it's an error for Emma Cott. Point to Durham. 7-7 now in the second set.
Aislinn Pedersen now getting set to serve for the Lords.
Now serving Aislinn Pedersen.
Controlled by Saida and hit by Cott.
Good dig there by the Lords there. Unable to get the kill though. Young across for Concool.
Kept alive and pushed over by Dubois Wood.
And now Young there with the sneaky tip over the net. And that's the second time the Grizzlies have kept the ball alive that the Lords were already celebrating for. Unfortunately, that time they didn't get the point.
I don't know if Tony Clark will be very happy about that. It's Saida hit over and out of bounds. Oh, it's inbounds. So a kill for Emma Cott.
There is a change at libero there for the Lords. It is still Jade Smith, but the second one this time is Maxine Felsberg instead of Alicia Lush.
So Garcia gets it over on the serve. And now she saves it with a dig across the Saida.
Smith gets that one up. Young will play it for Wemby, who will get the kill for the Lords.
Unable to block it was Mackenzie Roy.
Now Catherine Conkle comes up to serve for Durham. 9 serving 8 here, a much tighter second set. And that one will go into the net, so it gets as tight as it can be now, tied at 9.
It was really, other than the 9-0 run or 8-0 run, excuse me, by Buck, it was a pretty close set in the last one. But just Durham hoping they can get another big run like that.
Patterson for Young out of the near side for McFarland. And they say no deflection, so point Grizzlies.
And serving will be Mackenzie Roy.
Patterson for Young for Buck, who tips it.
Digged by Cott. And tipped around. And point for Georgian. As Saida gets it done. Near the net.
The Lords just a little bit weak at the net there, going for little block, little tip attempt instead of trying to hit that one down.
Roy to serve again. And it's a good one. Nope.
And a net violation call against Buck.
Just slight errors that Durham is making that's allowing the Georgian Grizzlies to go on this run. Mackenzie Roy to serve again.
It's kept up. There's Young, near side there for Quemby. As the Lords take that one back.
And just out of the reach of the diving Mackenzie Roy. She wanted to keep serving.
It's Brooke Young here for the Lords.
Roy set it up. It's a hard hit, but kept alive.
Felsberg for Young for McFarland. And a block there, and Tony Clark is not very impressed with the call. I think he thinks that the ball landed outside, but nonetheless, it'll be point Georgian.
Saida serving. Gets over.
Smith for Young for Buck. And the Lords get that point back immediately. Now getting set to serve is Kate Quemby.
Caught. Going to attack, and it's an error. Point to Durham, and as they had a 4-point lead, it's right back to 1. McClanahan, now it's Roy. The setup, Saida, it's blocked.
Blocked there by the combination of Buck and Patterson as the Lords tie this one up.
And a sub here, it'll be Patricia Saida for Monika Kowanowski.
Now serving number 13, Kate Clumpy.
Off the serve, oh, yes.
Perfect serve there, just catches the back court ever so slightly as the Lords now take a lead in the middle of the second set. Felsberg for Young, who will play it in the middle for Buck. And the point there is for the Lords. It almost looked like to me that it dropped down on their side, but obviously we're much further up, and a timeout will be called there for the Grizzlies as the Lords go on a bit of a run themselves and now take a 15-13 lead. What do you think is the message in that Grizzlies huddle there to stop a big long run that the Lords had in the last set?
I think in the timeout they could point to at points in the game when they have looked better than Durham, and they could use what's going well in those points when they went on runs, when they kept the game close, to show, one, that they can compete, and two, that they can win this set and maybe go on to win the game.
Surely for the Lords there, it's just to keep doing what they're doing. Yeah, they're running into little mistakes here and there that are costing them points, but the overarching message, you take a step back and look at this game, it's safe to say that Durham has been the better team for the most part.
Yeah, although they haven't played their best, it doesn't mean that they are still not playing better than the Georgian Grizzlies. Roy, it's hit over nicely.
Quimby to Young for McFarland, and the Lords get that point there, as now they extend their lead to 16-13.
And that is not what Georgian wanted out of the timeout, is allowing a point. They wanted to get right back into the game. Roy set it up. Smith. It was tipped, and it's Georgian point, trying to settle back into this affair.
Good point there to get that ball over the block, but making sure they got the deflection.
Brooklyn Smith is going to be the one to serve for the Georgian Grizzlies.
And a bit of a misplay there is Smith. The Lords libero got that ball a little further than she would have wanted, but it worked out for them anyways.
And Garcia just couldn't handle it at the net. Ends up being a point for Durham.
Jesse Buck now serving for the Lords.
Roy, now it's Garcia, and it just kind of floated over on a miss hit, but it's still a kill, and it's still a point for the Georgian Grizzlies.
I think the bigger key to that point there for the Grizzlies is not obviously just getting the point on the scoreboard, but getting Jesse Buck off the service line.
Ava Dubois is going to serve. McClanahan kept it alive. Roy, now they just have to get it over, but it's out of bounds. And it's Durham's point off the McClanahan misplay.
Coming up to serve now is Elizabeth McFarland. The Lords lead 18-15. That one just out of bounds. Good patience there by Cott to just be 100% sure that it was going to drop out.
Yeah, it's ballsy, because if you just watch it, then it lands in bounce. It's very embarrassing. So it's a good positional awareness, as she's the one serving, and it's a good one.
Patterson will play that one up for Young. Back for Patterson. She'll just put it over. However,
they just knock it around and get it over somehow.
Another tip there by Brooke Young. Talk about court awareness and knowing where everyone is without necessarily having eyes on it. Brooke Young is one of the best at that. She just finds the space on the Grizzlies court. Now Pedersen set to serve.
Roy setting it up. Garcia tips it over. Out of bounds, and it's the second time in a couple of plays that they've shown good court awareness of where they are, as Dubois Wood leaves it and lets it go out of bounds quickly. It'll be Nevaeh Garcia. knocks it over.
Young for Quemby, but a good dig there.
It's just hit over by Smith, now being tipped around and hammered.
And Conkle will take charge there and make sure that that ball goes down on the Grizzlies' side. Lords now 5 points away.
And
substitution there for the Lords is coming in to this one is Jessica Doherty. Coming out is Catherine Conkle.
And the Georgian Grizzlies also had a sub. They just switched back from Monika Kohanovsky to Patricia Seda, as Seda has an early hit that is tipped, and now Roy just puts it over.
Doherty for Young to the outside for Quemby, but plays it out of bounds.
And on the serve, we'll have Mackenzie Roy.
Louis doing his job to get the crowd to make some noise. Patterson will play that one for Young, who plays it towards the middle for Bach.
And a complete perfect shot right in between McClanahan and Roy.
Good awareness there. You don't always need to kill that ball into the ground. Just as long as you get it to hit the floor, that's all that matters. Now, Brooke Young set to serve for the Lords.
Roy setting it up. And Saida just couldn't hit it correctly. Point for Durham.
Tried to do the same thing, unfortunately not the same execution. And a timeout will be called here from the Grizzlies. Lords lead 22-18. It is closer than the last set. Despite the Lords going on a couple mini runs, the Grizzlies have been able to keep it close the whole time.
I've noticed that Tony Clark does not use his timeouts as quickly as most coaches do. I wonder if that's the experience of he knows his team is good enough and they just got to play, or if it's just his method of coaching. I don't know.
It is also just, it's in volleyball especially, that when one team takes a timeout, the other team seems to get a little bit of a boost in momentum. Sometimes it's absolutely necessary that you have to take a timeout to kind of cool things down, let things settle. But yeah, a lot of the top teams, not just Durham, but I know Humber does it as well, they really only use a timeout unless they absolutely have to. I don't think that this is a stat that's tracked, but I'd love to see which teams in the OCAA use their timeouts the least. And it wouldn't surprise me if it's always those top teams.
It makes sense. You do not want to give any team any advantage for any reason, especially near the top where it's so close. As it's Roy. Now it's Caught who pushed it over.
Patterson will play this one on the near side to Quemby, who just gets it over.
Roy, and now it's Caught again, who just gets it barely over.
Patterson for Young, for Bach.
Digged, and now Seda the hit. It was blocked, and now Caught attacks it.
Patterson up for Young. Far side for McFarland.
Kept alive by Caught. Now it's Roy, and it's hit and blocked.
Big block there from Kate Quemby after a long rally. You know the team that came out with that point. A hard fought on both sides, but coming out with that point is huge at this point of the set.
Dubois Wood could not get it past the Durham player. McClanahan, a long setup.
Felsberg near side for Quemby. Lords keep it alive. Quemby just puts it over.
Controlled by Cott. Now it's Roy. Set up to Smith. Out of bounds, and an error for Smith. And Durham is a point away from taking a 2-0 commanding lead.
It's unfortunate for the Grizzlies because they have played really well in this set. It's just those little mistakes that add up at this point. Lords set point.
Roy. Now it's Smith.
Pushed up by Young. Felsberg for McFarland.
Roy. Now it's set up by Dubois Wood, and out, and an error. And set 2 is over. Durham takes a 2-0 lead.
25-18 is the score. I don't think it reflects just how close that set was. I just think at the end of it, the Grizzlies made too many mistakes and gave the Lords the opportunity to finish this match in 3. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in about 3 minutes for the third and potential final set.
Ladies and gentlemen, fans will take turns rolling a volleyball across the court. The fan that knocks down the most amount of pins wins themselves a Durham College swag bag. Who's excited to get started? Give them some love so far. Here we go, first one. Just wide. Just wide. Contested, here we go. Oh, this one looks promising. Nice, one pin. Uh-oh. Cheeky bubble. So that third one's no good. We'll be standing over there giving them some guidance. Here we go. Oh, he's trying to guide it in. Doesn't look like it's just wide. Oh, he tried to help. No good, Luigi. No good. There we go. Can anyone beat one pin? That might be it to win the... Oh, that one has some strike to it, but again, goes wide. Goes wide, goes wide. There we are. Oh, that one has some speed. Bingo! Almost a full strike. Amazing. And that's our winner. No? Yes? Oh, yeah, we know the winner. Oh, thanks. Whoa, all right, give it up for your winner. All right, Lords fans, as we hear up less than 15 seconds ago remaining in this break. Only one more set for your Lords to win. Here we go. Lords, Grizzlies, 2-0 for the sets. Here we go as we get started.
Hello everyone watching from at home. Thank you for joining us. Potentially the final set as we get set for set number 3. My goodness, how many times can I say set in a single sentence? Lords lead 2-0, winning 25-17 and 25-18 in sets 1 and 2 respectively. Commanding lead here in this match, but it's been closer than the scores show, I think.
100%. I think I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a really, really tight set here as Georgian try and hold on to this game and stay in it as long as they possibly can. Sidus starting us off with the serve. And it's tipped over and then slammed down by Brooklyn Smith. So the point goes to Georgian as they start off the set well again, as they did the first 2.
Pedersen with a good effort there, but it's just not enough as the Grizzlies get that ball on the ground.
Served again.
And Jesse Buck there from Aaron Black. So substitution here for the Lords. It looks like the only one is Aaron Black coming in for Alicia Lush. Good serve there.
Roy setting it up, caught, and an error and a Durham point. The setup from Roy was good, but Caught just couldn't get it over the net.
Another serve here for Erin Black. We haven't seen much of her this season. Of course, that spot being taken up by Brooke Young.
McClanahan saved it. Now it's Smith, and it's just pushed over by Caught, but pushed over out of bounds. So it's Durham point again on 2 errors early by Emma Caught.
Black again gets set to serve here for the Lords. They lead 3-1 here in the early going. And it's going to be an ace there.
As Caught could just not control that serve. So she's had a struggle to start the third set here. I thought she's having a pretty good night, but the third set has not been kind to her.
And Georgian out of sorts there in the pre-serve, but it doesn't seem to matter as that one goes out. But up until Erin Black got to the line, they were still moving around trying to figure out what position everyone was supposed to be in.
Brooklyn Smith is going to be the one that serves for the Georgian Grizzlies. And her serve is a good one.
Chelsea Oak keeps that one alive. Pedersen will just push it over the net.
The kill is a great one by Garcia, I believe. Giving Georgian back-to-back points.
Good effort there from the Lords, but again, just not enough. Unable to get that ball back up in the air and in a playable position.
And now we have to see, can Georgian go on a run of their own and get a chokehold on the set? They can't, as it's a service error by Brooklyn Smith.
Obviously, it happens at every level and with every team, but service error just kills all momentum.
And then another error here, but this was in their play with each other, trying to set up a good hit. And it's another Durham point, and the lead grows.
Oak with a good serve.
Caught. Now it's McClanahan, and Saida. It's tipped down by Dubois Wood, and the points go to the Georgian Grizzlies.
Yeah, Felsberg there just played that one a little too close to the net for the Lords to be able to set up an attack.
After her hit, Ava Dubois is up serving and has a good serve.
Smith played across and kept alive.
Great dig by Dubois Wood, but a fail on the tip over by Patricia Saida.
Now serving Jessie Buck, who has been very successful tonight from the line.
McClanahan
She continues to do so.
She's having a great game.
And I could be wrong, but it seems like most of the time she's aiming to put it right to where McClanahan is.
Struggling to return the serves, which is unusual for her. Again, not a great one, but gets it to naught, and it's pushed over by Dubois Wood.
Buck for Black. Conkle was unable to get that one to the ground.
And Garcia with the kill as it was tipped, and then she slammed it down. The point goes to Georgian, and the serve will be Emma Caught.
That's Smith, Black, and Chelsea Oak now just getting that one over.
Roy setting Garcia up. It's blocked, and it is blocked for the point.
Catherine Conkle on the end of that one. Lords now lead 9-5. Elizabeth McFarland gets set to serve for them.
Roy setting it up. It's a huge hit by Cott. But it's
it gets over. Chelsea Oak played it towards the net. I'm not sure if Aaron Black had to get a touch on it.
Just a misplay.
However, the point is going to the Grizzlies there.
No, I think it was an error on the. Oh no, I guess not.
Yeah, the Grizzlies do end up with that point.
I'm not exactly sure for what, but the head coach for Durham is not too impressed about whatever the call was.
Black to the far side for Pedersen.
Cott kept it alive with the dig. Now Roy, and it's slammed by Seda.
McFarland, Black all the way across. Pedersen will just tip that one over.
Kept alive by Garcia. Seda again. This one gets down for the kill. And a couple points for Georgian to get them back into this third set.
Now serving Garcia.
The service error by Garcia, and the points to Durham, as right when you think the Georgian Grizzlies are getting back into it, they make a mistake. And it just shifts the momentum of the set.
Aislinn Pedersen now for the Lords.
Roy sets it up for Smith.
Patterson for Black, plays it behind her for Conkle, but it's blocked.
And that's a great block by Saida.
It's good play there by the Lords, but well read by the Grizzlies.
And that's what doing your homework gets you, that you can see what play they're going to run, and then you can anticipate it and stop it. Roy on the serve, and it's a service error, and it's Durham points. Free points for Durham is not what the Georgian Grizzlies want to be giving the Lords.
We are close to Christmas. The gifts have been given. On either side, though, I think both teams have had a little bit of struggles at serving, at least so far in this third set.
McClanahan did well to keep it alive, and it's just pushed over by Cott.
And a good tip there by Aaron Black to give the Lords the 4-point lead. It's really all she could have done, as that ball was coming in with speed towards the net. I don't think there's an opportunity for her to set it to anybody.
Caught, saved it. Roy up now. Dubois Wood attempts it over. And it's tipped by Smith, but she hit the net. And it's Durham's point. And just another error from Georgian in this early, like the halfway through this set. It's 5 or 6 errors.
I believe the call there was that she reached over the net.
Okay. That would make more sense.
And an ace there, a great serve by Catherine Conkle.
And the lead grows for Durham, and it's another run. And a ball has traveled onto the playing field.
And another ace there for Conkle.
The timeout called.
Timeout called there for Georgian. Lords lead 15-8.
And it's another one where we were talking about, you don't want to call a timeout, but the game is running away from you, and it's one of the necessary ones. And I think that's also between the best teams in the OCAA and some of the ones in the middle of the pack and at the bottom is Durham doesn't allow as many 10-0, 8-0 runs as other teams, so there's not much of a reason for Tony to call a timeout.
Tony there having a discussion with the far side official, just trying to give him, maybe talk about the call earlier.
Yeah, maybe some clarification. I don't know.
Regardless, Catherine Conkle set to start things off here after the Georgian timeout call. Lords lead 50-8 in what could be the final set as they lead 2-0 in this match. Looking to improve their record to 9-2 heading into the holiday break.
And you could see Georgian was in a long discussion as they used every single second of that timeout call, where Durham was ready to go a couple seconds early. Dubois Wood just hit it over, and it's a good dig by McClanahan.
Oh, cool, digs that one up. There's Black, goes all the way across Chelsea Oak, and it's blocked, but lands out of bounds. Point
and
for Durham.
You can see the frustration as Dubois Wood looks to the sky after her block goes just out of bounds.
We get a substitution here. Coming in is Lindsay Boone, and Jesse Buck comes out of the match. Roy.
It was hit hard, but it was blocked. Still in play, Dubois Wood went for the kill.
Two good digs there for the Lords. It was Pedersen and Black.
And a third one. And now a dig for the Georgian Grizzlies. It's Dig City.
Black for Chelsea Oak, and it's blocked and lands out of bounds. Another point for the Lords that could have gone either way. The score is 17-8, but once again, we've said it many times, I don't think the set really reflects what the score is.
I don't think it does either.
That one will land inbounds, an ace.
And it's piling on the Georgian Grizzlies as every little thing is going Durham's way in this third set. We're not saying that they don't deserve to have the lead. It's just, I don't know if 18-8 is the right score for this set.
I think it comes from just the maturity of this Lords team. A lot of them have played together for years. Many of them have just played volleyball in the OCAA, not this being their first year, whereas you look at the Georgian side, a lot of them are first-year players, and long rallies like that, I think that's just where the experience and the maturity just kind of
being able to keep your focus during the long sets, as it's a service error for Patricia Saida.
Now getting set to serve for the Lords, Aaron Black.
Now serving Aaron Black.
19 serving 9 here.
McClanahan digged it.
And that one will be blocked, but it lands out of bounds. So Durham gets a bit of a taste of their own medicine. There is a few points of the last few have come the exact same way for them.
Brooklyn Smith to serve, gets it over and gets the ace for the Georgian Grizzlies as they try and mount what would have to be an extraordinary comeback.
That was almost a quick trigger there. I don't know if she changed the way no, she's very much definitely serving that on purpose very quickly after the whistle goes. There's no run up. She just is standing on the line and serving and
just getting it over.
I was gonna say, forgive me, I haven't been paying attention all game, but I don't know if that's what she's been doing all match. That's a block for Chelsea Oak, and the Lords get one down on the court, bring it within 5 of a victory here. Chelsea Oak now gets set to serve.
Roy to set it up. Caught. Got it over.
And Pedersen will get that one onto the other side, and the block isn't strong enough. 21-12.
And how do you think Tony Clark will feel about this win? Because it does look like they're headed on their way to a 3-0 victory here.
At the end of the day, you get the victory. If you are one of those individuals who look at process over results, then I think maybe there's some things that, as a team, they're going to have to talk about as they get another point there. It's Elizabeth McFarland. That being said, at the end of the day, it's a results-based sport, results-based business, and you get the result. It's another 3-0 win on the season if That's how things fall. And you take that heading into the holiday break. I don't think you could really go much more wrong with that.
100% as it's tipped around, and it'll be another Durham point.
Much more right than that, I should say.
Yeah, and this third set, as much as Georgian has made mistakes in this set, they have looked better compared to the first two. And it's an ace.
And it is match point here for the Lords. Chelsea Oak at the line. Put herself in a pretty good run here. I think she got up to the line at 19, so this would be for the 6th point. Grizzlies
kept alive. Caught. Just gets it over barely.
Oak for Black. Near side for McFarland, but kept alive.
McClanahan saves the game as she just puts it over.
Oak for Black, all the way across for Pedersen, and that will do it. Lords take the third set 25-12. They win the match 3-0, and they take a victory, improving their record to 9-2 into the holiday break. Damon, what do you think? What are your thoughts on the match?
You know, I think 3-0 and a 25-12, 25-18, 25-17. It didn't explain the story of this game. It was much closer than that. Georgian didn't play bad. Durham didn't play amazing, but it was overall a good game, and Durham will be happy with the result. Georgian not so much.
I agree, 100%. Georgian, a lot of good things to take out of this one. You know, obviously you don't get the result, but like I said, it's not always about results, it's about the process, and I think Georgian can walk out of the CRWC tonight holding their heads held high. As for the next time we can see our Lords in action, join us January 3rd as we host our annual Adidas Cup tournament right here in Oshawa. A lot of teams from the OCAA come and attend. Exhibition tournament, of course. However, don't go anywhere as we have a game in about 45 minutes. It'll be the men's turn in the second half of the back-to-back here for the final game of the 2024 calendar year. Don't go anywhere. For Damon, myself, Corrado, will be right back shortly.